A shocking new back-to-school PSA has just been released, and we are going to play it in its entirety. Now, a warning to our viewers, what you're about to see contains graphic violence and may be upsetting to some, but I have to tell you, I really do think it is important for all of us to view. If you can, watch.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
I think we just need a moment. That was really hard to watch, but I think very powerful and effective. The PSA was created by Sandy Hook Promise, an organization founded after the 2012 mass shootings by family members whose loved ones were killed in Sandy Hook. They hope it will spur action to protect children from gun violence. And let me tell you, I have the pamphlet right here and I devoured it. We are all in search of answers. I saw loss in there. I saw baby Ford in that. I saw my Sophie in that. And what I love about this is there's no mention of gun reform. And I know that that's something that we should talk about, but it's become very polarizing. In this, they're asking students and for family members and for faculty to know the signs. 80% of school shooters told someone of their violent plans prior to the event. 80%. 70% of people who complete suicide or plan on hurting other people, they give some type of warning or indication. So see something, say something. That's what this initiative, and let me tell you, that PSA is effective.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's designed to invoke emotion. I know a lot of people will be uncomfortable with that. They say that it's not proper and it's weird. This is going to sound like a weird transition, but you know, it made me think about George Carlin had a joke where he said, we've all decided to get rid of toy guns, but keep the real ones. And if we're going to get rid of a PSA like this, we're basically saying we're going to get rid of the PSAs that make us uncomfortable, but basically go into another school year knowing that there are going to be shootings. These things should make us uncomfortable. These things, we need a new word other than uncomfortable. My seat is uncomfortable. Kids dead with their heads blown off in school is beyond uncomfortable, and we need to start talking about it in terms that are not PC, in terms that are not neutered of their real, like what's really going on. I don't want to hear about so-and-so passed away. I think the more we see what's really going on, we need somebody to pick up a phone and throw it across the room, because that's the only thing that we're going to get something done. Arguing in Congress, tweets, thoughts and prayers. I know you're done. I know you're done. I'm done with this.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Erica. Yeah.
No, you know who doesn't have the luxury of getting emotional about this because it's not a PSA, it's their real life. It's the kids. Having those conversations, and I suggest that anyone who has a child who is school age anywhere around them who are doing these drills on a regular basis, have a conversation with them, because the way that they have these conversations are very different than the way that we're having these conversations. Because when you're in it, in the thick of it, and you have to think about that, going to school, we had the conversation about the school who has the kitty litter and the buckets, so that if they have a lockdown, then they can have some place for them to go to the bathroom. These are active conversations, and they're just regular. It reminds me of when I first moved from the city to the suburbs, where I knew of gun violence and where no one knew of gun violence. My conversations with people were very different than the conversations that everyone else is having. The only difference is now it doesn't discriminate with socioeconomic status or race. It's literally anybody.
Anybody. And every day they have to go to school with this. Every single day.
Yeah, this is going to sound weird, but I like it. I like this PSA.
I don't think that sounds weird at all.
This is to rattle people, okay? I have a brain that I could envision what it's like for my child to go to school. I've cried on this show multiple times. I had this vision in my head before I saw this PSA. That's why you might not seem, that's why I might not seem rattled watching this, because I've already had these emotions. I've already thought this through. This is for people who are so polarized in their political stance that they're blind by anything. Well, how about this? Open your eyes and see this. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you have a child, if you have a niece, if you have a nephew, if you have a neighbor, this is the reality that we live in right now.
I'll say if you had a heart, Jeff.
Open your eyes to what's going on. And if you can't envision it, look at this PSA, and it should tell you a lot.
Agreed.